Good morning, everybody. Happy May. We are now 1/3 of the way into May. It is snowing. It is snowing. Yesterday, it was already getting pretty cold, but to add insult to injury, to let the flurries drop on us. Oh well. Now, the last video I did, I was talking about different types of dogs or people that walk their dogs off leash, different ways in which they do that, whether their dog is trained to walk at heel like this, whether their dog just sort of orbits them, the orbiting heel or the orbiting walk, or whether their dog just kind of knows the route that they walk on. I want to ask everybody a question. Maybe you can leave a note in the comments, but I'm just wondering, even as a dog trainer, I have not figured this out yet, although I'm going to give some possible theories. But anybody know what the deal is with all the harnesses? I mean, in the last 3, 4, 5 years, it's just been like, I just see more and more dogs wearing a harness. I can almost understand when it's a small dog, because people feel bad, maybe because of the collar or something, and a tiny little dog can't really pull on the leash very hard, so a lot of people throw these little dogs on a harness. And part of that is because I think people just think differently about little dogs. They just see them as something other than a dog, so they're going to treat it differently. But I have seen lots, and I mean lots, of big, strong dogs on a harness. I regularly see several people walking German Shepherds, full-grown German Shepherds, on a harness. Okay, so why would that bother me? What do I care about what people do? Well, I don't. I've said that in videos before, but I do kind of care about the harness. And this is why. Because if that dog wanted to come over and see me and my dogs, there is not a prayer that anybody is going to stop that dog. Maybe if you're 300 pounds and you're a giant boulder of a person, then you're capable of using your body mass to withhold that dog. But it scares me because I can't see there being any control over a dog on a harness. So let's talk about uses of harnesses. If you want to do tracking with your dog, put your dog on a harness because you want the dog to guide you. You want them to track, and they're leading you. Sled dogs, skijoring. You guys know what skijoring is? Where you hook your dogs up, basically like sled dogs, only you're on skis instead of a sled. That's skijoring. Chickpea. If you've watched some older videos, you will have seen Chickpea pulling me on my skateboard on a harness. Okay, so anytime a dog is pulling, we want a harness on them so we don't choke them, right? We want to disperse that force over the strongest muscles, their shoulders and their back, right? Wow, it's really coming down now. That's what harnesses are designed for. If you said, Ryan, I would love to get my dog into weight pulling competitions. Do you guys know that there's weight pulling competitions for dogs? There sure are. And if you want to do that, you're going to need a harness because you don't want your dog pulling on their collar like that, right? So harnesses, there's lots of uses for harnesses in dog training. I would just say walking your dog might not be one of them. I have had a few clients in the past that said they switched to a harness prior, this is when I'm just coming into work with them, and they said, oh, he walks much better on the harness, so we go for a little walk. He doesn't walk better, it's just that they're physically restraining him on the harness, and I suspect the issue was they felt bad about physically restraining him on a collar. And again, you shouldn't be just restraining a dog on a collar. If a dog is pulling and you're just restraining on the collar, you're just going to choke them out, and they're going to damage their trachea. So yeah, I agree. We don't want, but that's not a dog that walks well. When I see somebody with a short leash and there's tension and they're walking with the dog at their side, that's fucking bullshit, guys. That's not a dog walking at heel. That's a dog that you're restraining. And if you feel bad restraining them on their collar, so you switch to a harness in order to restrain them, okay, go ahead, but that's not your dog doesn't know how to walk yet. You're just physically restraining them, and you just don't feel guilty because of the harness. And that would be my guess. My educated guess is that people are using harnesses more because they feel guilty about a collar, right? Anyway, I don't use harnesses for training purposes, and I don't use harnesses for walking purposes because, in my opinion, those aren't appropriate tools for that. They're appropriate for lots of things with dogs. Ollie, chickpea, just not walking. I just rather not use the harness for that because there's just no control over a dog. The only control you can exert is just physical control, but that's not how to train a dog to walk at your side anyway. But yeah, I just found it funny. I mean, the small dogs, I've been seeing small dogs for years on harnesses, but you know, now as I start to see like, and I've seen huskies, German shepherds, Rottweilers, like these big dogs on harnesses, it just boggles my mind. And I'm just curious as maybe some of you use a harness out there and you could tell me why you're using a harness. Anyway, as this bus rudely interrupts my video, I'm gonna get to walking and training the dogs today. It's a little bit cold, a little bit snowy, but doesn't mean I can't do a little bit of training with these guys. So I will let you guys go until the next video. Let's all get through both the pandemic and the extended winter this year. All right, guys, stay safe, wash your hands, stay healthy, walk your dog, and we'll talk to you in the next video.